Hi, friends. I wanted to share a quick video today. I was inspired to say something about this because I've had a bunch of conversations this week with different folks who are really hesitant to publish or share any of their work, whether this be the first thing that they publish or just sort of an ongoing basis. And I have a lot to say about this, but I'm going to try and keep it short. So, firstly, one of the things I notice is people will say stuff like, you know, I go on Twitter and I don't really like the energy there. I don't really like the tweets that are there. Or, when I read articles, like they're just, I don't really love what people are talking about. Or if I go to, Clubhouse, which is a new audio app, like I don't like the rooms that are there. And the magic of all these platforms is that like you can curate that energy, you influence it, you know. I mean, it's scary because you have to put yourself out there, but that's sort of the magic of the platforms is that, it's something I've realized is all I have to do is create a room, post a tweet, publish an article, send a newsletter. And I mean, not all I have to do. Obviously, those are difficult things to do. But once I do that, I start to sort of influence the vibe in whatever space I'm in. The ideas can kind of build up. But, the reason why this is so important, and why you need to sort of get past these questions like, oh, like, who cares about what I have to say? I don't have anything interesting. The thing is, the fact that you question yourself like that, the fact that you're so thoughtful and so like worried about, okay, how is it going to be received? Like, okay, is it going to help this person? Or I don't know. The fact that you put so much thought is already putting you in a category where whatever you put out there is going to be more genuine than most things out there. I mean, just look at what you see. We are surrounded with loud, manipulative, sort of boilerplate, like robotic energy everywhere. You just see, those folks who are creating that content, they're not worried. They're not hesitating. They're just putting it out there. Oh, this manipulates people. Whatever. They're not the ones waiting. And so our feeds get filled with that stuff. Because everyone else who has something thoughtful and genuine to say is like overthinking it and questioning themselves and not putting us out there. And so that's why whenever I talk to someone who isn't, has something interesting and genuine that they want to put out there and they're just afraid to do it, I become really animated. It's like, nope, we need to get this out there because there's a lot of shit out there. Pardon my French. There's just so much stuff out there that it's important for there to be some counter to that. It's important for there to be an element of genuineness that's coming in. And the more people that are able to recognize, like, hey, the fact that I'm thoughtful about whether this is going to be resonating with people probably means that my work is going to reflect that. And then, of course, there's the other fears like, oh, it's not genuine. It's not good enough. I don't want to put it out. It's not good. Well, of course it's not good. Like, you have to make bad art, for example, in order to get to good. You can't just start out and just make great art. You have to put out a lot of bad stuff before you start to get to the good stuff. Ira Glass talks about this, where, talking about taste. So a lot of people, when they're starting, they have taste. They have good taste, so they can tell that what they're making isn't very good. And so they quit. They quit because they're like, oh, this is bad, so therefore I'm not good. I should quit. But in reality, it's that taste that will be their guidepost, their compass, to get better and better and better and better and better. And not everyone has that. That's the wild part, is even people with the taste that's necessary in order to get better. They allow the critic to just sort of block them and just stop it, and just sort of ends right there. And the last thing I'll say is, I've been talking about the audience a lot, right? You need to do this because people need the feeds to be cleansed. That was, I don't know if you saw that. That was like a tiny thread of cat fur. I have cats. So, you need to do it for yourself too. So, Liz Gilbert talks about this. She says, any wisdom or talent or passion that you have, that you're holding on to, and when you want to share it with the world, but you're holding on to it, that's a form of pain. That's a form of pain. Because you're holding on. Sometimes people hold on to these for years. Their whole lives. Think about how much cumulative pain that is versus just putting it out there. Maybe nothing happens, no one cares. Yeah, there's some pain from that. But actually that pain goes away if you make something else. Because you just move on to the next thing. But even then, even if you just take the pain of doing it once and then that's it, you never do it again, it's a release, okay, I can get that out there. I don't have to think about that. I don't have to have that thing that's like, hey, I wish I could do that. Well, you're not, because you never do any of this stuff. Oh, okay, we're still having that argument. Okay, let's just do this forever. Let's just live in this inner battle of fighting ourselves. So, what can you do to condense it into something that you can just get out there, just get a little bit of feedback? Because, if one person notices it, that can give you some energy. But even just getting it out there gives you a little momentum energy. And I talk about this in some of the other videos, like managing energy or managing motivation. But really what I want kind of as a takeaway that you take from this is just stop judging your work at such a high quality bar when the work that's in the platform you're thinking about, most of that doesn't meet it anyway. It's not really about quality on day one. You want to start getting stuff out there so that your voice is out there. And then you want to start connecting with people so that they can tell you, hey, this part is working, that part is not working, this part really resonates. And that gives you energy to know which direction to go. How else could you know? How else can you make great art without showing bad art to people so you know what parts of what you make is unique and interesting and guide you? So that's kind of my message, is just publish, just create, just put stuff out there. And I say publish specifically because I think even you can do a lot by just sort of creating and never really sharing with anyone. But there's value in putting it out there in some way, in some format, even if it's a tiny thing, even if you just don't show anyone, you send it to one person. You start with that, but publish it in a sense, like share it, get it out there. So hopefully, this gives you a little spark if you were stuck on this. Leave a comment, let me know what others, obstacles are blocking you from getting your work out there. Like I said, I feel like increasingly I feel like part of, my role could be to just remind people of this, because I just feel like I keep meeting people who have such interesting and genuine things to say, and they're holding it back. And meanwhile, I open my feed and it's just, So I want to see your stuff out there. Please. Thanks for watching.